All right. So we're just gonna do a walkthrough. I'll try and just fit as much as I can in here. Obviously, there's a lot. Oh shit.
Prepare to start.
All right. So, what are you? So I saw.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say my role is I'm either cart rider or drone. So those are my two roles that I need to focus on.
Okay. So we're going to want to just like show you. Just want to see some like positions around the cart about how you play.
Like what my role is when the cart is positioned where on the rail as we're going down. Like what my job.
All right. So I'm gonna stop just right here, and we'll.
Yep.
Okay. So I'll show you. So I also play drone.
Okay.
So what that means usually is my job is to create space around the cart, right?
All right.
So if I'm drone, I'm sometimes, very occasionally I'm here. Very occasionally I'm here. It depends on my team. It depends on the disruptors and the other drone. But usually I really like to be here. It's one of my favorite spots when the cart is just there or there.
Okay.
Right? And
so you're pushing up that far as a drone. You're going up to the ledge right there. Okay.
So a drone, in my eyes, in my mind, the drone is you have the So here, you want to come up here and I'll show you?
Yeah.
So you have your disruptors, right? Then you have your maybe two drones, right? And then you have whoever's on cart. And that can be either here or it can be like way back here, right?
Okay.
The drones are the people that are between the front line and the cart, right? So there's some points where, like on Launchpad, for example, I'll show you a little bit later, where the drone, right? The drone is going to be way far away from the cart. They're going to be super far, right? They're going to be, because their job isn't stand next to the cart, it's create space for the cart, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the drone's job, is to create space so the cart can push as far as it can in that meantime. I got you.
So it really depends. I might be here. I might even, I like to play here.
So basically the whole objective, like, is to simplify it, is to push them back to their spawn as much as possible.
Not always. It's not always their spawn. So what I'm trying to do here is I don't necessarily want to come all the way up here and push them away from their spawn. That's if we're having a total smackdown. As a shot caller, I might say, okay, go get the dashes, get this dash, that dash, that dash, that dash, and just swarm them, right? Because we'll have 4 people up here, we'll have 1 person on cart. This would be if we're playing a team that I want to get a really, really, really good time on. So we're doing some crazy-ass tactics, right? We're doing some crazy stuff, because I know...
That tactic would be 4 pushing 1 cart rider. That would be 4,
that would be a That's like kind of... if you know that you're gonna beat them, but you want to beat them really hard, because you want like extra MMR or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But usually I wouldn't advise that, because pushing up that far, unless you're super confident, can kind of be risky. So usually what I'm trying to do is I in my mind I develop a line that I don't want them to cross, and that line is here. I don't want them to get past here. I don't want them to get into here, right? So what I do is I chill here on this health, right? We're going to have 1 disruptor up there grabbing the dash, and I'll just be taking pot shots, right?
Waiting for them to come around that corner.
Yeah, I'll be here, I'll be maybe here, I'll be in here, I'll be playing in here. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to say, fight me, fight me, fight me, right?
To buy the cart time.
Buy the cart, yes, exactly. I'm trying to prevent them from just blazing past, because, if I'm up here, right, here, stand here.
Yeah, they could blaze by, you wouldn't even know.
Yeah, they go boom, 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 right? You can't do anything. So they
could even go shotgun, and if you're engaged, they could slip right past behind you. You would be focused in a gunfight.
Exactly.
They would get the cart.
Exactly. And you have to. I think I've talked to you about the 3- radius thing before. Have I mentioned that?
3- radius? No.
Okay. I'll talk to you. So let's push the cart a little bit, and I'll demonstrate that a little bit later. But the 3- radius. All right, so I'm just gonna like kind of indicate where the payload would be.
Okay.
So generally the way I think about it is points of interest around the payload. So I'm thinking about what is important at this moment. So when the cart's coming up here, I'm always thinking, okay, let's like play a game. The cart is coming right here. Let's say the cart is right here. What are you thinking about? What do you
I would probably be back here watching the doorway.
Okay.
Waiting for anybody to come out that doorway and trying to stay on this ledge.
Okay.
To watch down here in case anybody slipped through.
What about as the blue team? As the blue team, what do you want to control?
I want to make sure that nobody's getting past us. So I'd be on this rail. I would probably be like, yeah, I'd probably be in here watching the door and the rail.
Yeah, I would agree. So as blue team, my thinking is I want to do a few things. I want to prevent them from going past us, right? Because I don't want them coming around in the back, right? So I'm going to be having some people in here. I'm going to have some folks in here. And then I'm going to be controlling this top rail here. So I'm going to be having people ride it, right? So they're going to be boom, 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 boom. And then what they're going to do is they're going to put pressure on this health room here, right? What that does not mean is that they have to take it. They don't have to take it. They just have to put pressure on it, right? So let's say that there's 5 people, right? One of them comes in here, shoot. They kill someone, shoot. They die. Great. It's perfect. You know why? I don't want this room. I don't need it to be mine. I just need it to be busy. I need them focusing their attention here, not there.
To get that cart past that rail.
Right. It's like there's this trick with Rocketeers that a lot of Sprinter, Walker, even some Dasher players don't know this. You don't need to kill the Rocketeer. You don't need to. You know what you need to do?
Get him chasing you.
No, take some pot shots at him. Poo, poo, poo.
Okay.
And they run away. Poo, poo, poo. Right?
Okay, so they don't get killed. They'll run.
They'll run. They'll run the hell away because their life is valuable. If you chase them around for 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute, you know what's happened? You're cruising. Right? You don't have to overextend. And the same thing happens here. You don't need to wipe them out and push forward. What you need to do is occupy their space and time in this area. So the same thing was happening here. It's not about if you need to win a room, it's where you need to fight. You cannot control always what you win. You can't, right? Because, it's not up to you. What is up to you is where you fight, right? And generally, you want to push the fight away from the objective if you are on attack, right? So I'm saying, okay, we're keeping it away. We don't want to be, well, here it's really, really tough because they're just flooding in. They have 4 dashes at their disposal. They have a bunch of health. So you have to pick your battles. So here, the battle I pick is usually this top rail here. I pick this top rail. I pick this health. And I pick this area here. And maybe one person up there trying to cause problems. So that's when the cart is there. Let's say the cart is up here. This map is very, very difficult to attack on. Very difficult, right? So first I'm going to try and walk you through the thought process of a defender so that the attacking side makes a little bit more sense. Is that?
Yeah, for sure, because I'm having a problem with the understanding the offense and defense of it.
It's very, this side, sorry, I'm changing something. This map is notoriously difficult to attack. Very, very challenging, especially good. So let's talk about the defense for a second now. So there's a classic defense rotation that has been used for literally forever, since season 0. Damn timer. Hold on. I'm gonna do a whole new map so I can talk about this defense.
For mutators and on.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's do practice mode, league payload, Google chat. Okay. So I'm going to walk you through the basic idea of how this defense works.
Okay, so we're red, coming off as red right now.
We're red. And we're going to say that the cart is, let's say it's right here.
Okay.
This defense works from when the cart is here to, honestly, back there. This is a very, very old defense. Here's the way that it works. I'll take you from the front back. So,
all right.
Remember when I was talking about the 3- radius thing?
Yes.
I mentioned that a few minutes ago. All right. So here's what we're going to do. This is the safe. This is, let's go here. This is the nearest safe space that you can get to that area, right?
All right.
So what we do is, here's how you do the 3- radius, right? So I want you to take 3 dashes. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
That's how many dashes that team has, right? So you end up right here, right?
That's as far as they can get.
That's as far as they can get. So what I want to do is I want to push. So the radius ends right here, right? I want to push them so that their 3- radius cannot get anywhere. So what you do is, so come in here. Usually you have 1 or 2 people standing right here. So this is on defense. You have 1 or 2 people. And what they do is they come in and they harass these people. Boom. They're harassing them, right? So they can't.
Don't let them come through that
Don't
doorway.
let them wait in here. So what that does is it pushes back their safe space to like here. Now let's try the 3- thing again. 1, 2.
Okay.
Oh, you
1.
You can't.
2. Can't get in. Well,
you could
be rail.
Ideally, you should be.
Yeah.
The idea is that it forces them to choreograph and come out in a really, really ugly space. And you'll see why that is really important later. So what you're doing is you're trying to push them away. So you have 1 person here, right? 1 person here that prevents them from choking up in here. You have another person here, right, that's supporting the guy that's in there. So you're there.
Okay.
I'm here, right?
I'd be watching your back.
Yep. And then you have another guy here who's watching this main rail and watching this guy, right? So they can't, remember the dash that we did, the 1, 2, 3? You can't do that. It'll take your head off, right?
Right.
And then you have another guy who's here on cart. You know what else he's doing? He's watching this dash. So every 10 seconds, he's checking his teammates to see, somebody needing that dash? No, I'm taking it, right? He takes
make sure they can't get it.
They can't get it, right? So he's playing around cart, right? Very close. And then you have 1 guy in the back, maybe on rockets, or maybe he's just supporting, right? He's just floating around, maybe taking this dash. And here's the magic of it. Here's the magic. If this guy, let's say that the guy in here dies. The guy right here dies, which is very normal.
The front guy.
Front guy dies. Here's what happens. This guy dies. That guy moves here.
Rotates.
This guy moves here. That guy moves there. That guy moves up. And it's the same.
It's like a nice rotation.
It's a big rotation. So, because these guys are coming out, so they can't kill you. They can't get to the back, right? Because you have.
It's like the Bermuda Triangle.
yeah. It's nearly impossible to get to the back here, which is the big important thing here is the Rocketeer, right? He's standing right here, or he's standing up here, and he's just boom, 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 right? That's the classic defense, right? It's pretty hard to coordinate. It's pretty hard to practice, but that's the defense that you're going to be up against. Does that make sense? There's a guy here. There's a guy here.
Absolutely.
And here, right? And what you're doing, you prevent them from getting close enough to jumping you, right? So you've got this line here. They can't get close enough to get the jump on you. Remember when we were doing those lessons that I was talking about how you don't want to choreograph your movements towards someone?
Yeah, you want to be like spontaneous, like unpredictable.
Yeah, you can't be unpredictable if you're that far away. It's almost impossible, right?
Right, because they get to see everywhere you're going.
Yeah, I can see when someone's coming half an hour before they get here.
Yeah.
Right. Perfect. Now let's talk about, now that you understand that, I want you to try and think, how do you coordinate an offense against that?
Okay, how do I coordinate a defense against that triangle?
Offense.
Offense. You would have to send somebody through this rail to try to fight that guy head on there, or maybe choke him out, send 2 people at the same time, 1 through the door, 1 through the rail.
And he's got that health, though, so he's strong. He's stronger than a normal player.
Sorry.
It's good. So you.
No, my daughter was in my ear. Sorry. Yeah. So you want to be one? Now say that one more time.
So your first instinct is right. So you need to get rid of this guy. You have to get rid of the guy that's in here, right? And he's not just going to be standing here. He's tricky. He's playing in this corner. He's playing in this corner. He's going to play here. He'll play up here, right? But your instinct is right. You have to kill this guy. Then once you kill this guy, how do you do it? What do you do?
After you kill this guy, you would try to advance to the door, or would you? I don't.
Here's the
check your.
Yeah. Go ahead. What do you so you
check to see if your man's okay down there?
Okay. Yeah. So you're saying check this guy, take some pot shots, maybe.
Yeah, maybe see if you can squeeze one through the door.
Now let me
get in and get out.
Yeah. Let me show you one of the problems with that. So let's play.
Okay.
Let's count a little bit. So let's say that. Here's the divisor line. All the stuff over here is blue. All the stuff over here is red. Right.
Okay.
How many resources are there over here on this whole side of the map?
None.
There's one health pot.
There's guns. That's it.
One health pot. Yep. Right there.
Yeah, and the health. That's it.
Now let's come over here. 1, 2, dash, health pot.
6, 5.
Yeah. So now you're beginning to see the trouble of attacking.
Yeah.
Because if this guy, if they're doing pot shots for pot shots, right? Let's swap over to the other team. If you're trading shots, then one guy, this guy, he's happy to fight at long distance because he has this health, he has this health, and he has that health, right? So you can't.
Yeah, he has all these resources. This is probably the most. That's why Mars is so important to control.
Yep. Exactly.
Because it got all the resources.
So that's why if you've ever seen, you probably haven't, but when I coach teams or when I say don't take fights when you're grouping up, because you cannot take fights, right? Because when you're waiting and you start taking a fight, let's say I die, he dies, who wins?
Right, the group doesn't win. You don't even complete the goal. You don't even touch the card.
Exactly. If every single person trades, 5 people die over there, 5 people die over there, right? They win because we're not on card.
Right, because the card ain't moving.
Right, so you can't trade. You can't.
Right.
You can't. So what you do is you have to come up with these routes to get past them. So you have to do stuff like that, right? Remember when I was telling you all about how you can't, it can't be dash, it needs to be dash, right?
Yeah, quick, boom, boom. I'm still working on that.
Yeah. So that's where that kind of stuff is super important, right? You need to be able to get close enough to where that 3- range is. That 3- range is within these people here, right? And you also here's some like information. Most teams are not going to be having a guy sit on this that dash over there. They're not going to have a guy sit on that dash. So a lot of times you can get it. You can get it. You can come. You can either push forward or pull back, right, and fight in this area. So once the card is cruising around here, you have to organize your team. You have to say, we're gonna wait there, right? Don't let them push up, and it has to be quick too, because if you're waiting here for 10, 15 seconds, they're gonna get wise and they're gonna push up and shoot you, right? So,
all right, now can we switch over to blue and you teach me exactly what we just taught, pushing instead of on the defensive side?
Yeah, sure. So, what I would do is I would coordinate my guys. So, let's not switch teams. Let's just stay here.
Yeah, no. Just
so I would say,
show me the.
We would clear chaos, and then our whole team has to be together. You have to be together, right? And what I'm seeing, I'm not sticking my arm out. I'm not moving out, and I'm saying, ready? We're gonna go. You look at your watch for this because the timing has to be precise. You don't say 3, 2, 1. You say we're gonna go on the 5. So you look at you look on your watch, right? Because everyone,
so as soon as it hits the 5, everyone
sees 5 at the same time. So boom, you go, and then you have to know who's doing what, right? So who's coming into health room, who's getting on cart, who's chasing down the Rocketeer. It must be a precise thing. If their defense is correct, if their defense is good, if it's not good. If it's not good, what you can do is you can stage in there super easily. You could stage in here super easily, right? And then you use this to get an overview on the cart, right? So first it's there, then it's here, then it's there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once it gets past your line, now your line changes that to all down here.
And once your line is like this, you have access to all these resources. You start taking the resources, you start looping, you start getting tempo on the resources, right? Every 10 seconds, your team takes it. You see, okay, I'm taking this. I took it on the 1, right? That dash is on 1s. So
on the 9, let's just say now you're coming back for it at the 9.
Every time that my clock shows 9, someone on my team has got to get it because we need to gain control of the area, and you do that by controlling the resources. And controlling
so now,
the area.
would you announce that number out like when you take
I call
the dash?
Boom, dash is on 1s.
Okay,
SMG dash on 1s. This dash, spawn dash is on 4s, right?
This is flank dash, right?
I don't know. People call it different things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I get that. Right.
There's some standardized call-out map somewhere, but I will tell you the truth. Here's the honest truth. If the team who is holding this site is doing a basically perfect defense, if they have the guy watching the dash, they have the guy here, the guy there, the guy there, right? It's, I mean,
I just went through it. I know. Trust me. And that's
it's almost
impossible. One of my questions is this, right? If the cart's unstoppable or unmovable, right? What is your next step as a cart rider?
My next step?
If the cart is completely unmovable, as soon as you get on it, every second you're getting blown out of.
It depends. If they have rockets, what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign one person who is the most competent on the team, the most competent killer. I'm going to say you need to go distract those rockets, right? You need to either distract them or kill them, and then instead of having like 1 or 2 cart riders, 1 disruptor, and 2 floats, I'm going to say 3 people on cart, 1 float, 1 disruptor, right?
Wow.
So
3 on cart. Okay.
So I change it up, not because they're never going to be 3 people on the cart at the same time. What it is it's more rapid, right?
It's staggered. It's you. In case you die, I'm right there to hop in your place, and then my man's hopping in my place.
Right. And I do that because if their area control is so good, it's just so overwhelming that you really can't get area control. The only thing you can do is push the cart. You have to push the cart, and once the cart moves, the area changes. It physically changes, right? Because you can hide behind the cart.
That changes their defensive strategy.
Yep, exactly. So once the cart goes from here to like there, you have different. You have things that you can change. But if you just cannot, if for the life of you can't get area control, you have to change something, right? You can't just say do the same thing but better. 10, it doesn't work.
9. 8,
okay, and that's where the group ups will come in. I
that's
would call out a group up.
And group ups are not super easy to
orchestrate all the time.
Yeah. Oh shoot, man! I forgot to do. I'll show you how to do how I do a proper group up.
Okay.
It's
Prepare to start.
So, here's how I organize group ups. I have a very specific way. A lot of people, basically, they're just standing here and then they say, go! Right? They see like 2 or 3 people. They say, go! There's a few levels of group ups, right?
Okay.
There's where you just think, okay, the cart's not moving. There's sometimes you want to do group ups and sometimes you don't. I'll give you an example of a time you don't want to do a group up. A time you don't want to do a group up is, let's say, if the payload is right here, super, super close, do not group up. You don't want to. It depends on how much time is left. If you have time for one last group up, maybe it could be okay. But generally, if you only have to push the cart a little tiny bit, right, you have to get it through a little tiny chokehold or something. Well, I was gonna say you don't want to group up, but it really depends on how their defense is structured. But the thing you need to be
that changes it. That could change in momentarily throughout the game.
The thing you need to be thinking about. It's hard for me to say yes, group up. No, don't group up. What you need to be the thing you need to consider is think about: is it gonna take more time and
to organize
the group up than it is to get that little inch right? And sometimes the answer is yes, sometimes the answer is no. because it might be a really difficult inch. Like there's an 86, the 86%.
And that's
on
when you
Launchpad.
would want to group up if it's a real difficult
If it's really difficult, yeah. If it's
got
like
you.
nearly impossible, yeah. But it's you know what? That's what the shot caller does. That's the discretion of the shot caller. You have to figure out when to do that and when not to. But here's how I group up. Here's how I organize a group up. There's kind of 2-3 levels. The lowest level is nobody calls a group up. You're not calling a group up. What you're doing is you're doing what's called passive grouping. So I'll show you passive grouping. How about you stand here for about 5 or 6 seconds, and then you just push the choke, and I'll kind of show you what I do. So just stand there for 5 or 6 seconds, and then push whenever you feel like it.
Towards you?
No, towards the choke point. Towards the choke.
Okay.
Oh no, the other way.
Yeah, it was towards you. You were behind me.
All right. So right, so you're there. I'm here. Do you understand how that's passive? Nobody called a group up.
Yeah, I got through. I passed you.
Yep. And so you passed me, and I was like, oh, my friend's going. I'll go too. Right. So I'm just waiting for 1 or 2 people to come, and I kind of tag along. Right. So instead of it's like a buddy system, right? And really, really, really good teams. This is when people talk about, oh, like Dasher teams are so good, they're so coordinated. They don't need to coordinate because they all know to do this. They all know moves together. They
all know the.
Right.
They all know it's almost a universal playbook, so to speak, right?
Exactly. So everyone plays in such a way that instead of it being like a bunch of really strong people, they kind of merge together. It's this emergent thing, right?
Okay.
They don't even have to coordinate. It just works. So that's the lowest form of grouping. Then here's the next form.
So it's not even that they're that coordinated. It's just that they're just so used to playing against that defense and playing together that it comes automatic almost.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
That's exactly where the team chemistry and practice comes in.
Yep.
That's where it's
and
important.
that's why these people who have, like, if you get 5 Dasher level players who've never played on a team together. Yeah. And they all get in the same lobby in the same team, it's like way harder than it should be because they are like accidentally playing together. It's not even on purpose. Right. It just happens to work out. So yeah,
I get that a lot because I play with a lot of different lobbies and stuff. And I might get like 3 of my teammates together at one time, but we still have 2 people that aren't on the same page, and it's like so difficult to understand. How. What like their strategy that they're thinking. I'm like, because everybody plays for self basically, and nobody wants to get on the cart. So it's like, man, if you guys ain't doing your job, I can't do my job.
Exactly. Yeah. So let's talk about the next form of grouping up, and that's just like a single group up or a few group ups. So this is level 2 out of 3.
Now. One more thing. Do you when you organize group ups, do you say how many people are grouping up? Like, yo, I only need 2. I only need 1. I only need.
Usually, when I'm doing group ups, my level is 4. Right. Someone's gonna be dead, but I'm not saying I need 4. What I'm saying is group. I'm saying, all right, group and hold, group and wait, don't shoot. Those are the words that I usually use. It's like hold, don't push. And then usually I'll say hold here. So I'll say hold at shock bridge, or I'll say hold at chaos, right? Hold for push, hold in chaos, hold for push, hold. Push.
So don't go past that hold point.
Yeah, don't shoot.
Or stay at that hold point.
Stay at the hold point. And I'll usually, if it's kind of a younger team or younger players, I'll say don't shoot, don't engage, right? Because what they like to do is, remember, we talked about this. You can't take pot shots at these guys. Remember?
Right.
Exactly. So I'll say, don't shoot. Wait. And I'll say 3, 2, 1, push. Right? And ideally,
it's like one force. It's like you guys are moving as one force instead of one by one, because they can knock you off one at a time.
Right. Exactly. And the thing is, what I'm not doing when I'm calling a group is I'm not saying, oh, Ichigo, you need to push there. Oh, Lumi, you need to go over there. Venom, you need to go over there. Right? I'm not doing that. Because if I have to say that, I've not been doing my job before the game. Right? A conductor is not writing the music during the orchestra.
Wow. Okay. 9, so now, what are some things that I need to start doing to prepare my team
3,
and
2,
for Like,
practice together.
Overtime.
They need to understand who goes to cart, and you need to be watching it as they're playing, right? Because if everyone is, if you see 5 people to go in a cart in a scrim, you need to be like, shit, this is not good, right? We need to change it up. 2 people can go to cart, 2 people need to be around the cart, 1 person needs to be drone. That's what the roles are for, right? Because when you all push, when I'm a drone, I'm not thinking, I called a group up to push to cart, I'm going to go to cart. No, I'm a drone. I'm going to go like here, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So the drone, how far do you want to be away from the cart? Like,
it depends on the
what's your
opponents.
maximum?
It depends on the
the
opponents.
opponents.
Yeah, so I might be something like this, right? I might be somewhere like this. I could even be somewhere like this. If we're really kicking ass, I might even be here, right? Because I'm watching the Rockets, I'm watching this. But yeah, so that's the second level of grouping is I'll call all right, we're grouping in here. All right, ready.
Grouping in chaos.
Don't fight.
Moving on 5.
Or yeah. Well, I do a countdown, right? I always do a countdown. So I always do 3, 2, 1, and I'm watching for heads. I'm looking physically at people. I'm looking. Okay, who's here? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're good. I'm also constantly checking the menu to see if someone dies. If 2 people die, if 2 or 3 people die, I'm just gonna abort it.
Then you got to start over because
to.
then it messes up the whole group up.
Right. Yeah.
So you have to be aware of like
feedback.
The whole.
I need feedback from my team too, because they'll tell me if they die or if they really should tell me if they die. So that's the second kind of group up. Now here's the last kind of group up. This is something you'll see out of, man, I don't even know really if people do it anymore. But this is going to be the kind of group up where what you're doing is you're not grouping up really because you don't need to. What you do is everyone understands that they're pushing this thing at the same time, right? Everyone knows, okay, we're pushing as a group. We're only doing groups, right? So that means I'm not going to push. So this is in every player's head. They have the whole thing in their head. So if they have all of the software they need,
the whole match, they're pushing as a group.
They're pushing. So what happens is they'll see on their watch a shot caller. I'll usually go, okay, we're going on the 5. Ready? And then the 5 comes, and then everyone goes, they shoot, and then they die. I don't even have to call for a group up, because when they die, they come out of spawn like...
Everybody's respawning at the same time, it's already as a group up.
And if someone dies early, let's say that someone dies like instantly, they'll just come here, and they just chill. They just chill.
Wait for the spawn to come out of spawn.
They just wait. They wait for the rest of the team, because what happens is if the moment you die and you come back, you're like, maybe I can get back into it, right? No, that wastes more time in the long run, even though you think you can help, unless that's when the shot caller has got to make the decision. If the fight's going super well, you lost like 1 or 2 people, you say, keep coming, keep going, right? That's when you need to make that call for everyone to keep pushing up, right?
Man, so I play a much bigger role than I led on to in the first. I was allowing other people on the team to call the shots because I felt like intimidated. I don't know, not intimidated, but just like that wasn't my role as a cart rider because I have such a low role. So that's more.
You need to have one shot caller who just knows what the fuck's going on, because
one. All right.
Yeah, because if there's
that's probably our captain.
If there's 2, they'll argue, right?
Yes.
So even. Oh God, I used to play with a guy who we got into arguments all the time, but we just figured out it's like, okay, even though I disagree with what you're saying right now, it is way better for me to just shut up and do what I think is bad, right? Because if there's 2 of you arguing in the same time, nothing gets done, right? Everybody's confused. Right. 2 arguing shot callers is so much worse than 1 bad shot caller.
Got you. Nice.
Right. So you need to just have one person who knows what's going on, is doing their best, right? You can yell at each other after the game is over. That is fun. Right. Right now is go time. You listen to what the shot caller says, and you shut up. All you need to say is shot calls, unless something is like. No, not even like
real out
unless
of
something
character.
Is
like
crazy,
if something's real out of place.
Crazy. But that's gonna be like it's the grand finals, and the shot caller is like high off his ass, right? That's the situation we're not talking about. Like I kind of disagree. I think our group ups are not good. Like save it for after the match, right?
Right.
Yeah, so those are the 3 levels of group. Those are different kinds of group ups.
Okay.
And the third one is very, very difficult because everyone has to understand that you push, you wait, you push, you push, you wait, you push, wait, push. Right? You have to have extreme
And you
discipline.
all have to be synchronized.
You
it
all
all has
have
to
to
be
be-
like synchronized.
And what the shot caller does, man, that makes my life easy. Because all I do, I sit here and wait. I'm like, oh, there's 5 people. Let's go. Everybody goes. Everybody dies. Do it again. Right?
Okay. And that pushes the cart.
It depends. So
do you use that situational just to get out of tight situations?
I use that to get around something like this, but you've seen how hard it is to get it pushed from like here to there, right?
Yes.
That's how I get that pushed, right? Because there's 2 people go to cart, 2 people go in here, 1 goes for the dash, right? That's how it works. I would highly recommend watching some VODs of Team D attacking on this map because they know how to do it, right? They have that. They've played so much together as a team. They played so much together as a team that the 3rd level of group up I was telling you about, it just comes effortlessly.
I'm gonna watch that. Yeah.
You gotta watch them do it. Team D. Team M didn't really do it. They just kind of trickled. Trickle push can be really good too. It can also be super useful because if you're trickling,
and that's what, like pushing with 2 and have 1 guy stagger behind.
Pushing with 2, pushing with 1, just trying to make way on the cart. Stagger push is just when people are. It's like a pub. People are just going at their own pace, right? And generally, what happens is that a guy might get 1 or 2 kills, and they'll ride the cart for a little bit. The time you want to use that is when it is just physically faster than trying to group up. Let's say that. So this is a crazy old technique. Let's swap teams really quick. Here's a real old technique. It's called a reverse blitz. This is what you do. You have to have a real skillful team to do this. Is instead of, remember that whole thing that I talked about there? Yeah. So here's kind of some of the mind games that you play making strategies. So let's say that we've got this whole setup, right? The whole thing, big boomerang.
We're controlling chaos up to the door.
Yep, exactly.
All right.
Let's say you've got this, and then this team starts grouping up. Now, grouping up, if they're really good at it, that'll beat this strategy, right?
Okay.
So we change our strategy. I'll send you a VOD of this, because this was this is a crazy strategy. What this team does is, what they do is, instead of waiting for the group up, they push 4 or 5 people all the way up. It's like, what the fuck?
Wow.
You push 4 or 5, because what that does...
So they're not even... They're the whole team's disrupted.
The whole team's disrupted.
And not letting them group up
because
at all.
They can't group up. They cannot group up. So you've got like 5 guys up here. It's like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Because we don't want them to group up. Usually you have one guy there on like SMGs or something who's sitting in the main rail, right? But, so at that point, if you're the shot caller on the blue team, you're not trying to group up. No way. What you're thinking is, okay, new opportunity. The play is different. The strategies are changing.
To individually dash
Get
past
through them. Exactly. Yep. That's your thought process. And you need to be able to change that when you see what's happening. Right? If you try and group up 2 or 3 times, you just need to be like, man, this is not working. It doesn't matter why. Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to say, you guys suck. This grouping up is not working. You cannot argue. Okay. What you need to say is, this isn't working. I don't care why, because we can't fix it right now. We're changing it up. We're doing something else, right? That's why you need to have the one-shot caller. Because if everyone sees that it's not working, you're going to have 5 different ways. You're not going to have a fucking committee meeting about the next strategy. This game will be over.
Yeah.
You just have one guy who's like, okay, here's what we're doing, right? So that's really the whole, that's like the whole decision-making process that I go through.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It does.
So that's grouping up. That's this early point defense on this checkpoint. We can walk through a little bit of what happens when you break checkpoint as the blue team.
All right.
So I want you to guess. What do you think's happening? What do you think happens when we break checkpoint as a blue team?
When the blue team breaks checkpoint,
Yep.
you would want to triple stack the cart and try to get as much distance and as much time as possible before that team respawns and comes attacks.
I would disagree with you.
Okay. Yeah. No.
right.
That's what I would.
No, that's okay.
Please tell me the right way.
So here's what I'm thinking. The biggest threat. Let's think about the defense first, right?
Okay.
So let's go back over here.
This is what I need help with, man, because like that automatically
okay,
is, I
it's
thought
okay.
that was the best right way.
So let's think about the red team. We're defense, right? The cart is right here, right?
Okay.
Now you need to look at the structure of this land, and you need to notice something immediately. I'm gonna have you guess again. There's something weird from about here to about here.
Hold on, let me see. You said from there
From
to
here
there.
to here. There's something a little bit strange. It's very different than the first checkpoint.
I can't tell. I don't know.
There's really no amazing sight lines. The sight lines are not great. Because if you stand here, look, you could hide there. You could hide there. You could hide behind this thing, right? You could hide right there. You could hide right there. There's no great sight lines here as a defensive team. So what you do, you have a totally different technique. You do what's called swarming, right? You corner camp. So remember, used to be what happened is that when people started corner camping, it's like, oh man, you guys suck. You're camping in corners, right? It makes people real mad. However, from here to here, the best strategy is to play like a total coward, right? You need to infiltrate, hide, guerrilla warfare. You want to be down in here. You want to be a little gnat that's coming around, right?
Yeah.
And you're just so super. You've seen it happen, right? You see these like Dasher Plus players who are just like, you can't kill him because where'd he go? Where'd he come from? Right?
Yeah.
That's
where they're at, hiding.
Yeah.
At this
So
juncture.
Right. So all the way through here, if the team is good, that's what they're going to be doing. They're going to respawn. They're going to, take note of this. They're going to take this dash. They're going to take that dash over there. And they're going to get into their nooks and crannies. All right. And that works.
And wait for them dashes to respawn. You're going to go for them, and you're going to be in their sight line.
Yeah. So that works all the way up here. Now, knowing that that's what the best thing to do as a defense team is, that's the best way to play it on the defense. I want you to tell me, offensively, what is the best thing to do? Now that we've talked about how the defense works.
Okay, that's when you would want to stagger now, because now you don't want to double stack at all. You want to have one person on the cart and your dash on the cart, so when they die, you can jump on it.
Almost. But remember, staggering is for when you can't control how far the cart's getting pushed, right? You can't control the area. So now is the time. We've been talking a lot about group ups and staggering and just inching the cart along. Now, the blue team can have control. They can have control. And the way that they can have control is like this. So I'm respawning. I'm the blue team. So what I do, boom, boom, boom. I grab this dash. My friend is grabbing that dash. My other friend is grabbing that dash. And what we do is we lock them out. We stand here. We're constantly having guys that are coming this way. That's why people...
Yeah, this is very active.
People are saying, come through silo, right? So they're pushing through that way, right? They're holding this... And what they do is they say, you cannot fight past this area, because once they get in here, it's like an infestation. Right? It is impossible to get them out. So what you do is you say, no entry. You're not allowed to be here.
And that's where your boys in the nooks and crannies are plucking them out the doorway.
Well, no, not even. The nooks and crannies, that's for defense, right?
For the cart, yeah.
So so the nooks and crannies, the defensive team comes in here and they get in the nooks and crannies. The offensive team, what they do is they say, we can't have you playing in those hidey holes, in those corners. So what we do is we play here.
Is lock you out of those hidey holes.
Yes,
got you.
Lock you out. And you even, that's why you see, remember when, I'm certain this has happened to you. You just gotten checkpointed, you come out of spawn, you ride this rail, and goddamn it, Hog Rider is sitting right here and he takes your fucking head off.
Right there, they're already up in here, dude.
Exactly. And you know why they do that? They do that because they don't want you getting over there. Because once you get over there, it's impossible.
They want to contain you to this area.
They want to contain
so that cart
you
gets up that hill.
Right, and the main thing they want to keep you away from is right here. It's this dash.
The resource.
The resources. Because
Gotcha.
if you draw a line, right? If you stop them right here, right? The whole way through the map, you stop them right here, no resources. So remember at the beginning when it was no dash for that side? Now it's no dash for this side.
Yeah, now it's no dash for this side.
Exactly.
Ah, gotcha.
Right. So this is called a blitz. This is the blitz. Cool. That's what it's called. So what you do is you blitz up and you lock them out. This is not the best blitz. There's a better one I'll show you that I'm sure you've experienced.
All right.
But that's what you do, right? So there's all these nooks and crannies. So on the defense, you want to be in these little nooks and crannies. On the offense, you want to lock them out, keep them away, keep the resources. Always keep the resources on tempo. And that play basically works up until about here. At which case you do the same thing. You maintain the resources on the attacking side. You come through here. You play around cart. You have to make sure you focus on the shocks and rockets.
Well, that's what I try to do because I like shocks. So I try to control or keep control of the attic and keep everybody out of the attic.
Yep. And once the cart gets to about here, you probably need to start grouping up a little bit because then it gets tough. It gets it gets tedious, right?
Yeah, at the end, yeah.
And so you need to have those roles. It's like, okay, you guys go to cart. There are some good sight lines here, like right here. This is an excellent sight line.
Where you at?
Over here.
Oh, I see. Yeah, all right.
This is excellent. If you can, you want to do some disruption down in here. You want to, send a few people down in here, or you want to control attic. A lot of times you'll probably hear people yelling, control attic, get attic, get attic. Right? Yeah. That's because if you let them stay in attic, right, again, you can't control what you win, but you can control what you fight, right? So you do your best to fight up here, right, so that the cart can smoothly sail under you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be fighting.
So most of the time, it's not even about the fight. Sometimes you just want to distract them and get them focused on you, not so much what's going on.
Yep. You can always control where you take a fight. Pretty much.
Okay.
You can't always control where you're going to win the fight. So
and that's why I got it. Okay, that's what I'm doing. They're always zipping past you and not even like paying you no mind.
Because they're saying, I'm not going to fight you here. I'm going to fight over there. Yep.
They're controlling where they fight you at. Wow.
Yep. All right. So do you have any more? This is a very relative. There's, of course, a million details on this map of like different flanks and different all this stuff. But I think I've given you kind of a...
Yeah, no, dude, this is so helpful, man. Like, I just needed to get in the strategy mindset of how these guys are thinking and how to defend and...
Yeah.
So
really quickly, I'm going to show you an example of the best blitz, the best push that there is really in the game. We're going to go on to Launchpad, where there is a really fantastic example of this. I'll give you like 10, 15 more minutes to show you this. So this is the best example of this blitz that there is. So here we're actually in a perfect spot already. So come right here. So here's what, as the blue team, this is maybe the best attacking idea that exists in the game. Not to brag, I did come up with it, but
hey, listen, that's why I'm here asking you.
So here's the idea, right? So the blue team, you come here and you break checkpoint, right?
Okay.
You break checkpoint. Let's assume that there's 5 people here. Perfect world, there's 5 people, right?
Yeah.
Here's what you do. And I'm sure you've experienced this from the other side. 4 of the 5 people, what they do is they take these routes. One of them's going to come here and push up, right? At least one person is going to go there. The reason for that is to not allow them to sneak around, right? You do have to clear the area before you do this. You have to make sure it's clear. Usually
make sure no one's sneaking around flanking you.
Right. And what the really good players will do is they'll see that the cart's about to hit checkpoint, and because they know that this attacking idea is so strong, they'll just hide. They'll just hide and wait. But here's the idea, right? Well, at least one person goes through there. Most people usually go main rail. You can have someone go in there, almost nobody is usually in there. But here's the idea. You come up here into the triangle dash, all the way up here. Remember, cart is still at checkpoint. You come here and you lock them out, right?
Okay.
Every 10 seconds, you have tempo on this dash. Boom, it's on the 3s, right? And what you do is you have 4 people in here. 4 people. You have them. Maybe you could be here.
And this would be the disruptors up here.
Yes, or this would be the disruptors. This would be 1 cart rider, and it would be 2 float.
Okay, and I would strictly be on the cart. I would just be that.
You could.
I would be on the cart.
You could take a nap.
Okay.
If you're on the cart.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's okay.
I'll send you some videos of this as well. I need to like have a note, so I need to send you the reverse blitz. This is the normal blitz. That's why the other thing's called reverse blitz. This is normal blitz, reverse blitz, and then a attacking D. So what your whole team pushes up here. You have 1 guy at least watching main rail. You have guys watching this. You have guys watching this. And what happens is, I kid you not, the cart goes from checkpoint all the way to right here in like half a minute. Because they cannot get through. They have no resources. When you're playing with no resources, right? It's really easy to get outdashed in these small areas.
Yes.
And when there's 4 guys here, this is the perfect choke point in this game. It is nearly impossible to break. It is easy to hold if your guys know how to do it. The key here is that you have to maintain control over this dash here. You have to get it on tempo. You have to know exactly when it's coming.
So whatever number it is, 3, 2, 1, you announce that. Make sure everybody's picking it up at the same time. Even if you can't pick it up, just make sure that number's announced so they're picking it up.
And when you have your guy on the cart, this is going to be you. So you said that you'd be sitting on the cart. That is not true always.
Yeah, I'd be sitting on the cart.
So what you do, so you're sitting on the cart. Imagine I'm on the cart. And then let's say that somebody respawns and they land on the cart. My role has just changed because I have the extra dashes to get up here. And that's how you maintain that front, right? That's how you maintain these people coming up here.
Got you.
And
so the rules change.
Yeah. So the roles that you have basically don't apply here. Whoever is ready to come up comes up, right? And you hold this. I promise this sounds totally crazy. I'll show you a league video. The team comes up, they hold in here, and it is just impossible to get through. It's just impossible because what you're doing is you're controlling them. They can't get. So let's go do our 3-dash thing again.
All right.
So let's go here. So let's see how many dashes is it to the dash pickup. Let's try. You can use some rails. Let's do 1, 2, 3. No way. Even we cheated. We rode on the rails for a little bit.
It might have took me 5.
Yeah, exactly. And you only have 3 dashes when you're coming out of spawn. So you are at the absolute most abhorrent disadvantage possible. That's why this works. The way that generally you get around it, and again, this is if you're going against a good team who knows what they're doing, it will be nearly impossible. It'll feel impossible. Yeah. But what you can do, here's the tricks you want to use. You hide, you wait. You don't go for the dash. You do not go for it. Because if you go for it, I guarantee
they'll read your trail. They'll know exactly where you're at.
Well, there's
you're a moving target.
Not even. There's going to be a dude in here. I'm going to be sitting in here, and I'll take your head off immediately. Right. So you don't even try to get this dash. Right?
To stay up here.
You come around here. Maybe you go like this. You get through. You do the thing where you dash past them because you can't do anything else, right? Mm-hmm. And even, this is going to sound crazy, this is one of the opportunities where a defensive team might have to group up.
A defensive team might have to
I don't usually recommend that. I think for this scenario, probably not, but occasionally you do have to do that.
They might have to group up to stop the cart. Wow.
It depends. Yeah, because if they're playing swarm, so here's another idea that I haven't really told you about. At some areas, specifically right here, if you're the attacking team, right, there's a cart pushing through here. Both the attacking team and the defensive team do a very similar thing. It's called swarm. You swarm the cart. which means that you have 5 guys. You have 1 guy, usually from both teams, is fighting over this dash. But what you're doing is you have 5 people. You know what? Here, I'll just let's you know swap teams really quick so we can move this card a little quicker. So what you do with Swarm is the idea on the defensive side is you have 5 people that are basically playing like this.
Right.
You have 5 people.
Okay.
This works in very small areas, right? In areas where the walls are close, the cart is the only cover because you can, man, you're like a little insect, right? It's really annoying.
Yeah.
When you've got 5 people doing that, it's nearly impossible to get on a cart. And vice versa, right? If you're blue and you have 5 people playing around cart, it's like really annoying, right? That's how you push through that area that I was showing you earlier. Does that make sense?
So so instead of them spreading out across the map, they might want to fall back and concentrate around the cart more.
Yes. So you want to concentrate usually on the red team in that area, in the 86 area. We can move over there. The cart will keep moving.
All right. You sure it's gonna keep moving?
Yeah. Wait.
Red team wins.
I thought
you said come over. That's why I said,
no,
sure?
that's on me. I forgot to turn on automatic overtime. That's my fault.
It's all good.
Here, I'll show you. Sorry about it.
It's all good. I was like, man, that's just gonna stop as soon as it goes off overtime.
No, it just yeah. So usually what I do is from here to about here.
Hold up. I'm up in the front. Hold on.
Oh, I'm back at the end point.
Checkpoint. You're back here.
Or Yeah. So from about here to about here, usually what I have my attacking team do is I say, okay, 1 guy or 2 guys, you're trying to control the dash, right? Everybody else, what you're doing is, well, you can also have guys that are going this way to prevent them from flanking, but if they're not flanking, what you could do, you could put 3 or 4 people here in the middle to just play around cart, push, right?
To get through this section to the alley shotgun
to get
bunker.
through to right here. Now, honestly, here's the honest truth. To get through from here to about here, blood, sweat, and tears, man.
Yeah.
That's what it takes. You got to trickle. You got to push it as hard as you can. Try and get bodies on the cart. There are really no easy tricks that I know of. There could be something. I've toyed around with the idea of pushing people through this way and pushing people through this way. It's like some super coordinated thing, pushing through this way. It doesn't work.
It don't work.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why. So once you're here, once the card is here, a lot of people call this koala, right? You get people here. What they do is, and if you're a super confident team, you can even push up to here when you hit checkpoint.
Okay.
So what you can do,
start sniping them from spawn.
yeah, and you just sit here. You do this, right? I'll send you a VOD. So you play here.
And you're taking them out as soon as they poke their head out.
Yeah, exactly. And then when I'm getting hit a little bit, I'll come back. Or actually, no. If the card is here, I'm gonna try and stay here. I'll play around this health. Let me show you a trick with this health pickup. So here, come in here. So let's pretend that we're dueling. So come up here. There's a few tricks that you can do. So here's the first trick. Here's the normal thing. So imagine you're chasing me and I walk down here. Now you walk down to where, so you'd probably be facing that way, right?
Right.
So if you see me walk down here, you're gonna come down here. You're gonna be facing the health pickup, right? And here's the first trick.
Yeah.
Whenever I come down here, I usually do not go here. I go here. Right?
Okay.
Which is a trick.
Duck under the ledge.
A lot of people do this, right?
Yeah.
And what they do, because this guy, he's going, oh, where'd he go? Right.
He's going to look for the health to see if you re-health.
Yep.
And you're sitting in the corner waiting for him to re-health.
If I'm playing a real smart player, someone that I know is thinking what I'm thinking, I do not ever do this. I do this.
Okay.
Because
he's going to come down. You're already anticipating his move. It's like you're playing chess with him.
Yep. Yeah.
Got you.
So that's like, there is information like this for
Wow, it's
every
just like
single
playing chess with
for
humans,
every
dude.
single inch of the map. There's a trick like this.
Got you.
Every single inch. But this one is
Wow.
particularly important for when you're coming down.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
I hit there a few times.
I think my headset's about to die. Just as a heads up.
Okay.
But do you have any? We can go over the whole attacking part of this map later. I just wanted to show you that one little thing.
Yeah, no, that.
And I'll send
we
you.
covered a lot.
I'll send you the 3 videos of the normal blitz, reverse blitz, and the D attacking. Do you have any questions?
No, I'm good. You pretty much answered all the questions that I would have asked.
Perfect. Well, once you watch the video, again, feel free to ask me any questions that you have. There's a lot of differing opinions on this stuff. So if you feel that something I said was slightly off, feel free to take it to any of the other like game experts, like the people who know this game.
No, that's I know about like so.
Okay, yeah.
I've gotten a lot of different opinions from different players, and that honestly is why I reached out to you, was to get your opinion, to get a different perspective on strategy, and because if I can see it one way, your way, and then maybe take a piece out of your playbook and somebody else's playbook, and then create my own playbook.
Yep.
That might work for me.
That's the way. Yep.
And that's basically what I'm trying to do right now. Is just build a portfolio up of plays.
My biggest advice is do what works with your team.
Okay.
Try not to force them to do things that they're never going to do. Like I talked about that like magic golden rule grouping, that thing.
Yeah. So I want to configure them instead of trying to make them configure to what I'm learning.
Yeah. The group thing that I talked about, like the level 3 grouping, you may not be able to get them to do that. And you don't want to waste like 3 or 4 weeks trying to do that and then just giving up and change direction. So you need to find what they're willing, find the easiest thing. So like this blitz here, this could be a thing that you guys do that it's super easy. Everyone pushes up. It's really easy to understand. It's really easy to do, right? Go with the smallest pieces that you can. Because if you try and make them do super advanced stuff really early, or if you try and make some super coordinated, like the whole canyon thing where it's like a big boomerang, you may not be able to get them to do that. But what you can do is you can give them some concepts.
9,
right?
8, 7,
all right.
6,
Yeah, but again, if you have any questions, feel free to DM me.
1.
Yeah, for sure, man. I appreciate your time, man, and
no problem.
I'll check out them videos. I want to check out the D.
Yeah,
match
absolutely. They have some wonderful, beautiful attacking stuff. I'll send you like 3 or 4 videos to kind of demonstrate what I'm talking about.
For sure.
Yeah. All right, man. Thanks for.
All right, brother. Have fun, man. Thank you.
No problem. All right. See you.
Yeah.